Hi everyone, welcome to Cosmic Turtles. And it's after the full moon, although it was a special moon of sorts. The influence of the full moon carried on for a couple days for some of you. I didn't cut my hair, it's just tied up. The last person that mentioned that, did you cut your hair? I said, no. And it's nighttime. I like the nighttime readings. Woo! Look at that. First card out. Wow. I'd like to say thank you to all the new subscribers, all the supporters. I absolutely enjoy your comments as well. And like I said, I make it a point once a week. I try to look at all the comments. So this is your reading. So we start off with the Ten of Swords. Wow. Concerning that full moon that just passed, there's certain things that are coming up to the surface. It's things that you thought you dealt with, but they're coming up to the surface, and it's stirring up your spirit a little, like your insides. It's stirring it up. Just know that when these things are coming up, it's to be released. It's not to be relived all over again, although it feels that way. Try to breathe it out through your heart. Try to bring it out of your mind and through your heart instead, so that you can release it. See, releasing is there's a lot of things we picked up growing up. There's a lot of things that traumatized us. We're all sensitive souls, really, and then we learned to put a whole bunch of armor around us, and then after a while, building up so much protection around us that we end up feeling numb, and then we wonder why love can't come into our life. It's because, yes, we stop the pain, but then we also stop the love from coming in, and then it's about restructuring all that to figuring out how it all works. So right now, like the pains that are coming up, or the memory of pains that are making you go through this feelings again, like I went through this, I went through that. Why is this coming back to my mind? It's because you need to set up a maintenance plan, like plan a maintenance, a way to keep, you add it into your life, little practical things that you do that helps with not being so afraid of getting into new experiences because of past pains. It's the suffering we don't want. The pain is part of life, but it doesn't have to be so big. It's the suffering that makes it that it feels so big in us, and then it causes the trauma. But right now, these things are coming at the surface. But this is just the first card, so it's a good thing it's the first card. That means these are things that you're actually resolving and letting go of. You let go with surrender, with release, surrender to your will, your inner will, the divine will. So it is a 10, and after that it's the court cards. So this is the last little bit, but it's not to be relived. You already went through all this, all the types of pains you can think of. You already went through all of them. Now it's time to actually let go of those experiences, because you've already sat with it long enough, and it made you suffer. You sat with it long enough that you extracted all the lessons and wisdom from those experiences. Now it's time to let go of the experience itself. So that's the first card. Okay, and some of you, it may make you feel like you're stuck again. So don't allow that. Try not to, breathe it out. See, step up. Step up as a king. In this case, it comes out as a king, but whether you're male or female, hey, this is getting it's really lighting up, isn't it? So let yourself shine, let your truth come out of you. What's stronger than any of the pains you ever went through? What's your authentic self? Those are the things to really focus on and actually allow that to shine through, because when the light is on, all the shadows disappear. So it's about standing strong in your real authentic truth and speaking your truth to yourself. mostly it's to yourself, because nobody else is in your shoes. So the maintenance part is also developing that communication between your head and your heart, or your head and your higher spirit, or your heart, your head together, talking to your higher spirit. And also it's the listening part. Listen and observe, right? But this is the King of Swords, which is about that communication. And it's a good time to do this. Mercury retrograde now went back direct, which means now the communication will be a little bit better for a lot of people and their electronics. So, see, the King of Swords, he's the type, he's not emotionally charged when he's doing his communication. He is very calm, cool, collected, is able to make light to even the darker things, is able to cut through the BS, including its own BS, so that communication is asking yourself, what do you want to keep that you used to have as a behavioral pattern, or a thought pattern or beliefs that were limiting? What do you want to cut out of your life? So it's about really using your discernment, sitting with yourself and having that honest conversation within. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. And these readings are mostly timeless. I mean, it's whichever one you feel called to do, you feel called to listen to. Next card up, 4 Swords, healing. This is the middle of the reading, so this is where you're at right now. You're healing from all these things. You're healing. This is a good dynamic. You see the 10 and then you have the King. So you went through the extremes of everything. It's coming back to mind, but now you're letting it go and you're standing as a king. You've mastered. It's like you've learned everything you needed to learn about all these knives that are on your back, all these swords that are in your back. You learned something. There's something that was key. Either you set your magnet in a certain way, maybe you played victim. And as long as you kept believing you're a victim, you will keep having experiences that reflect that will keep keeping you as a victim. But then now you're letting go of that victim mentality, that state of mind, that way of being. You're becoming, instead, now you're going on the other side, which is the survivor. So you're standing up and you're saying, geez, I'm more than what I thought I was. I was never really that victim. I just thought I was because of what everybody else told me, or the experiences I had led me to believe that's what it was, but it wasn't the actual truth. It just seemed that way. And we come here as a spirit having a human experience. We're way more than just that human. We're the human combined with our spirit. And the Aquarian age is all about remembering that. Remembering that we're more than just that human. But the thing that is of beauty is that human that thought that they were less than. When you walk into the age of Aquarius, when you start having the changes and everything, and you start having some remembrance or realizations of who you are, you're that spirit. Oh, a spirit is strong. A spirit is what keeps you going on your lowest times. On your lowest times, what kept you going was that spirit inside of you, that spark, that divine love within you. And it just, you start seeing yourself a little bit more, but always in humbleness. I mean, you can go all the way to the extreme of the spectrum of being and see yourself as mightier than thou, and that's fine, because that carries a lot more of this, and then there's some on this side, there's some on that side. If you go too much this way, you'll have pains and sufferings and backstabbing and betrayals and all of them you can think of. And then if you go too much this way, too much in the dark, too much in the light, it's not good. It causes these things that continuously creates these sufferings, and you don't want that. So you went through the both extremes. Now find your middle. Your middle is that king. But right now, while you're king or queen, it's not gender specific, okay? It's just an energy. You won't be emotionally charged. That's what that one is. It carries the same attributes as the queen, and can make light of dark things. Like you develop kind of like a little bit of a dark sarcasm, and it's a way to bring your humor up. So that's stepping. It's raising your vibration a little bit. Eventually, you won't need the sarcasm. You'll just be as is, and it'll be fine. You'll be comfortable with the changes. Right now, you're finding that middle. That middle is the healing. The healing is finding that middle. But for you to find it, yes, it's still, you got to rest. You got to listen to yourself. You got to listen to those internal promptings. Listen to your body. Listen to what it is you actually need physically, emotionally, mentally. Mentally, if you need less drama around you, stay away from drama. You may be lonely a little, but at least it's not loneliness. It's solitude, because you're developing that relationship with you that you didn't know you had. For the time you don't know you have it, you'll feel lonely for the time. But if you're really wanting to connect with that deeper aspect of yourself, then you'll find it. It'll take some time, will, courage, determination, perseverance, but you'll get there. And this is what this healing period is about, is sitting with yourself. Really taking that honest look at yourself. Sit with yourself like you are your own best friend. How would you treat your own best friend if they went through all this? How would you, and you have that inner wisdom that comes through, how would you soothe that? What would you do if you were your own best friend? Right? So it's about that inner connection, and it'll bring you to something even better than you ever imagined. It'll put an end to those things you thought you were that wasn't true anyway, but for the longest time you carried it and you thought it was true, and then you'll discover you were more than what you ever thought, and more beautiful and more amazing, and all the best qualities you got, it's like 1,000 times more than that. It's just you gotta allow it time to integrate, and then you grow yourself slowly, step by step. Celebrate every success. Next, when you're going through this, there's an opportunity that comes to you, an opportunity that is of value to you. It's a big one. Because a lot of times when you go through that healing, when you're at that stage and finding your middle, you're like, is it there? But you're going to sense it, because you'll have inner peace, and then these opportunities will come in. But this is a major one, something that touches you deeply, something that is of value to you, will be presented to you. It could be a job offer, a job you always wanted. It could be anything. It could be, it could have to do with your finances. It could have to do with, I know it's a coin, and on the 3D it may appear as finances, or in another way, more general way of saying it, it could be abundance. Like, let's say you were on your own for a long time and you wanted to connect with like-minded people. That will be like a treasure handed to you, right? Like a big coin given to you type of thing. And it's abundance. It's abundance in friendship and love and enjoyment and laughter. And so that's another form of what this card could represent. And it's something that's divinely guided. It's something that was meant because it's the right time, and you're in your healing journey. When you're on your healing journey, and we're always healing something, we're never done really, but when we're done a stage and it plateaus until we're doing the next climb, then it plateaus. While it plateaus, we're healing, and then we're getting ready for the next climb, or in our ascension, evolvement process of bettering ourselves. There's always something that comes, and it's of value to you. Your interests, your things. Some things may change, Maybe you're, but there's certain things that are core values, and those, they're part of your main essence. Those don't really change. How they present themselves could be so amazing and different. But something comes up for you. And for some, a value could be a really good partnership, a really good like companion type of companionship partnership. It could be a best friend. It could be an animal too. Like if say you weren't able to have an animal growing up, but then later you got one because you always wanted a certain animal. It could be a cat, dog, bird, snake, reptile, whatever it is. A turtle, a fox. Well, it depends on where you live, but certain wild animals you can't have, but depends where you're at. And so it could be something that's connected to something you love too. It could be love itself. It could be you found that part of yourself that you had forgotten, and it's like it's given back to you. So that's a treasure in its own, because that you will hold on to. When you lost a piece of yourself, or you feel like you did, because it's always in there, it's just, it got buried, and you gotta get rid of all the crap on top that built up on top of it to be able to see it again. And then you get that piece of yourself back. Soul retrieval is you. You do that. You can get some help. All they're doing is guiding, and really you're doing the work. And sometimes we need help. We do. That's why we're a collective. We help each other. Help each other. Not what some dynamics are. It's we actually help. If we're asked. And also there's the other side, is learning how to ask for help. Some of us, I remember I had a time I was too prideful. I could do it all on my own, and I made it harder on myself. Really. But then I took my piece of humble pie, and I soothed the pride and disintegrated it into having just like self-pride, but not so much that it becomes arrogance, and just allow myself, gave myself permission to ask for help, and also ask myself, send me at least to the right help. Next card you got, King of Cups. Look at that. This could be someone coming into your life to offer you partnership, love, friendship, all of the above. They're stable. They're someone that they're very loving, very caring, but you wouldn't be able to tell on the outside. They know how to keep a straight face, even though they're very emotional on the inside. But it could be assigned to a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, if you're looking for certain signs. But it could be any sign, really, because a person has like 12 signs on their charts. Like you have the rising, you have your sun sign, the moon sign. It depends where they're at. And for most people, even though they have a sun sign, they end up maturing into their rising. And some people don't know their rising, but you can look up definitions to find out, because to find out you need your time of birth. But if you don't have it, or the parents aren't around anymore, or it wasn't, you don't remember, or they didn't remember, or something like that, you can go look each definition. You can recognize yourself. So this King of Cups is offering his love. He's offering his help, his partnership, his friendship. He's sitting on a very sturdy platform, even though the waters have waves in them, even though there's movement, internal, even though things could be chaotic or emotional around them, they're able to stand. And it's that loving stance. You know, some people, they can have a straight face, but they're smiling with their eyes. It's kind of like that. You can't fake that. You can try, but yeah, no. And if you're intuitive empath, or sensitive, you're able to sense. If you're looking at things as is, if you're looking at things as how you'd like them to be, then you'll see all kinds of things. So this is part of your healing journey as well, is to be able to open your eyes and see things as is, without being too traumatized by it. But you went through a lot of things, so you have the ability to understand what you're seeing. So this King of Cups, this last card here, is he could be the one giving you that. He could be the one giving you that opportunity, or that opportunity comes in is in relation to this person that's coming in to help, or it's you developing and becoming this more self-loving, caring, self-nurturing person, and then you shine that light, and when called to, you're able to offer the same to others because you filled your own cup and you're able to share yours with other people. Okay? First and foremost, anything you seek in life, anything that you truly would like to have in your life, that you need to be able to embody the energy of it and sense it, feel it somehow, some way before it comes into your life. So you need to magnetize yourself to that polarity, to that energy, that way. And then once you're doing that for yourself, maintaining it, takes practice, focus, patience, perseverance, determination, will. When you're able to do that for yourself, then you'll be the one radiating that, and it will attract the like. So that's how it works. So while all this is going on right now, you're healing. Continue working on the things you hold of value. Continue growing your internal garden. We have the Seven of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Until you figure out which direction you'd like to go into, you just continue, working on the things that matter to you, but matter in a deeper sense. Not just what you think matters, but things that your head and your heart agrees upon, and that's the things that matter the most. Okay, so this is a somewhat short reading. We're going to do another one, but right now I'm going to stop this here. This is specifically for those that are in the healing journey, and about the things that popped up, things like that, and they're releasing it, and you're doing a good job. You got lots of encouragement from me and from many others as well around you. So this is Tina from Cosmic Turtles. We'll see you next time.